And then the Messiah said, come with me, I want to show you something else. And everything I'm showing you, I showed to the 144,000 sealed ones the things they needed to know. I showed your brothers, the 54,000. I showed your brother from the north, and now I'm showing you so you understand how this piece fits in the end. And then the Messiah said, now come, I'll show you something even more interesting. Then they came down from that mountain, going around the back where no one lives. The Messiah hadn't shown him where the houses were yet. Come with me down below, I'll show you something. So they went down and they were walking, and after a while they were walking among people can't see it, but they were walking among the people. And a person started appearing here, another there, all walking. And then after a bit, they're walking. And suddenly someone passes by carrying a cross. Another person walking on their knees in the street, another person with a 6-foot candle, people with rosaries doing. As they were going around some curves, it kept growing and growing and growing. At one point, the Messiah stopped, and the South Witness stopped, got startled, jumped back and looked at the Messiah and said, what is Rome doing here? Where did this sea of people come from? Remember the prophecy? Multitudes, nations, languages, everything there, so many people. The Messiah looked at him and said, calm down, you'll understand. And they started walking, and that crowd kept appearing, all those people. Crowds, them walking, people with crosses on their backs, doing paganism for Azazel, offerings to Azazel, in various names, right? Because Azazel has his special club of saints, right? Many saints, including himself, he wanted it for himself. As they walked, the witness from the south, seeing that sea of people, jumped back and said, Messiah, what's Rome doing here? Then Messiah said, calm down, you'll understand. Come, I'll show you more. Come, I'll show you more things. And they walked, crowds of people with crosses, candles, walking everywhere. Then the Messiah's witness says, my God, how can this be? What they did in Rome, here practically, this is Rome. The same thing they do in Peter's temple, they're doing here. Then the Messiah said, calm down, you'll see even more. And so they kept walking and saw it. Then arriving where there were stairs, people climbing on their knees, crying, people saying they were healed and all that stuff, right? And then the Messiah looked and said, look up there. There, Azazel's angels all around, just watching. Then the Messiah said, come here, I want to show you something. This is important for you to understand. Then arriving at the place, many aligned children, right? And then the Messiah said, look, Moses did circumcision, cut the little piece of the child's thing. Look what Azazel does here. Then he showed it, said, look there, see for yourself. The children arriving, and then the religious guy there, right, priest, right, sprinkling water on the child's head. Then the Messiah said, that's what Azazel does with children, see? To make them his religion, part of his religion. Then the witness from the south looked and said, wow, brother, that's how he does it. Look. Well, yeah, he does the circumcision. Ismael and Azazel chose this path, to sprinkle water on the head and say it belongs to him. Then the witness, looking all around, seeing all that, said, brother, how can this be? And why did he choose this city? The Messiah said, a place much like Peter's land, high up in the mountains. If the comet hits the ocean, the water won't reach here. And here stands the temple, his second greatest temple, where people worship most. Then, as the witness began to understand, he started to walk. The Messiah said, stop, I want to show you something. Now is the time. Remember, we have an agreement. So now you'll fulfill the agreement I made with Israel, Azazel, and Ishmael. Now is the time to fulfill the agreement I made with Azazel. Then, when the witness from the south looked and was about to leave, the Messiah said, stop, I want to show you something. The Messiah pointed and said, look over there, on that side. He looked and saw the two children playing there, at the house where the Messiah said he would be born. He saw the two children playing there. Then he saw a woman carrying a child in her arms, being taken to baptism. Then the Messiah said, see that child being baptized? Don't forget, they're angels. The Messiah was showing him the future. When the Messiah showed him, see that woman with the child in her arms, taking them to be baptized? The witness looked at the Messiah and said, I see. Then the Messiah said, that's you. I'm paying off the deal that was made with Azazel. I'm handing you over to him. Then the Messiah looked at the Messiah and said, but brother, did you really do that? Laughing at the Messiah. You had the guts to come here to Azazel's temple and make an offering like that. They were joking around. They're very close friends. Then the witness told the Messiah, very close friends, always joking. Then he said, look, anyone who knows us would see something like this and say, man, with a brother like that, who needs enemies? You put me in Azazel's temple. Jesus had me baptized for him, offered me to him. Brother, whoever has a brother like you doesn't need enemies. Those who don't know think otherwise. Then the Messiah looked at him laughing and said, I knew you'd like this. Then the witness said to the Messiah, perfect, brother. Now there's nothing to complain about. The offering was made. He was delivered, the flesh was delivered, but the spirit was not. So, my brothers, when the witness from the south was there, the same thing must have happened to the witness from the north. I can't speak for him, but when the witness from the south at that moment was baptized, and of the 3 sons, he was the only one baptized there. He was chosen for this, to be offered to Azazel. When he was baptized in Azazel's house, in his second largest temple, the Messiah fulfilled the agreement he had made. Look, he will be born. The day he's born, I will deliver him. Then you'll have to suffer. But what I'm going to do, I will do. And what did the Messiah do with the witness from the south? Born in Paul's land, where Azazel will be, in the place he shouldn't be, Paul's land. When the comet falls, he'll have to flee, or else he'll stay and smudge his blush, his little makeup. His makeup box will be ruined. So he has to leave Rome, go to Peter's land, to Paul's land that shouldn't be, fleeing from the falling comet. So, my brothers, you see, speaking of the witness from the south, from the north, I know, but it was probably the same thing. The Messiah showed all the details of what would happen. He showed every step of what would happen. When the witness from the south saw she was taken to Paul's temple, everyone knows where the second largest temple in the world is, and that mountain of 66 meters is behind the temple. A very famous city, known for looking very European, for the climate, for everything, right nearby. It'll be a house of 300 million angels of Azazel, that whole region. So the part that had to be fulfilled at the ends of the earth, the Messiah fulfilled. The witness of the south was offered. Had to pay a price, really. That's the first part, because when Messiah was born, he had to flee to Egypt, because Israel wanted to kill him no matter what. Azazel, they're all crazy now. These angels are all crazy already. They did so much evil that they don't understand anything anymore. They don't even remember when the comet's going to fall, because if their minds were good, they'd remember. Because when they fell here on earth, they were given 7,000 years. It was just a matter of calculating. But they don't know. They don't know anything anymore. Their minds got all messed up. They did so much evil on earth that they lost their power and had to create technology to finish off humanity. They had to create a chip to put in people's hands, which is already starting to come now. Everyone's seeing it happen. So my brothers, more or less, that was the basis, the agreement. When the Messiah brought the witness from the south and delivered him, he is the last. He's the last one. After him, no one else comes. He was born, delivered there at the offering, right? Because the Messiah, circumcision. The 2 witnesses, water on the head, in the lap there of Azazel's system. So, my brothers, that was the last part. And when the Messiah showed that child being baptized, he returned to that mountain and said, now you stay here, because you will be born from the woman's womb. Just like from the north, the 154,000 sealed, they remained, were born from the woman's womb. Today they are here. Look, things are right there, very close to happening. It will happen at any moment. It may take time. As I said, the Greek-Roman calendar deceived us greatly. 2033, 5 years before or 5 years after. Now it's in their hands and the fallen angels are afraid. Why? They're in men's bodies now. Now they feel pain. They feel pain now. It's not like the old days when they could wage war like a video game, killing each other without consequence. Now they're trapped in bodies. If they wage a prolonged war, they'll feel pain. They can't escape it. Death itself flees from them. They won't die because death runs from fallen angels. They'll try to kill themselves, but they can't. They don't have the power to end their own lives. Death flees from them because they're angels inhabiting human bodies. The bodies they've taken over have essentially already died. They're inside these bodies, and those bodies are now eternal. So they're stuck in the body. And you saw how Ishmael, through his puppets and pawns, began fulfilling a prophecy that the king of the north would invade the queen of the south. King of the north, Ishmael, Elijah. Queen of the south, Azazel, Enoch, Jesus. He started positioning ships just as the prophecy clearly states that he would surround South America with a fleet of vessels. This is just the beginning, my brothers. He's just getting started. You notice it began with Ishmael, Elias, right? He's starting to encircle, to surround the land of Azazel. This is going to cause major chaos because Azazel won't want to give up his territory. He'll only lose to Ishmael because of the comet's fall. But then he returns after Rome's waters recede. He comes back, raises an army and captures Ishmael, which is the Masonic Gospel religious system. You know what they're going to do with the Freemasons? I already told you. They're going to burn them. Those guys will roast in the fire. They'll be barbecued.